How's it feel to be back on the practice field?
Man, it feel good. Happy to be back at practice. Happy to be back at work with my guys. Man, it just feel amazing.
When you went on IR, you already knew that there was a chance you'd come back for sure?
Oh, yeah. I knew I was working. I was going to be on the way working back and just keep my head down and keep working, and that's all I do right now.
The room looks a little bit different this week than it did a couple weeks ago. What's kind of your general outlook on the state of things?
Oh, yeah, man. I think we added great additions to the room, man. We got OG back, and then we got JP. So, man, it's been good, man. And, we a bunch of hungry guys ready to go work and go eat.
Even though you weren't able to practice, were there things you were able to do in the last month that you felt could help improve your game, whether it's watching film or whatever it might be?
Yeah, watching film, having a deeper dive into the playbook, knowing the ins and outs and stuff, and, being better at my craft.
Is there any concern that it's going to pop up again, the injury?
No, I ain't concerned about that. We ain't worried about that. God got a plan, and, we don't know his plan, but, we just stay focused.
You mostly lined up on the left side in your career. Are you comfortable going to the right side? Do you get practice at that during the week?
Yeah, I'm real comfortable over there on the right. We do things based on scheme and stuff like that, but it really don't matter. We line up, all of us line up both ways.
Nolan, how'd you re-injure?
Oh, man, just playing football. You can't remember a certain play, but it was just something that happened real bang, real quick.
Is it against the Rams? Was it in that last game, or was it even previous to that?
Yeah, against the Rams.
How hungry are you to get back?
Man, hungry, and just happy to be out there with my guys, man. Just miss the fellas. You miss the camaraderie. You miss the practicing together. You miss all those type of things.
I know how close you are to BG. What was your reaction when he was coming back?
Man, I was excited, excited to have OG back in the room, man. I love OG, and, man, he get a game to everybody, man, and he's just a great person to be around and hang around and be with.
The Packers have been pretty good at protecting the quarterback. What are you kind of seeing out of their offense?
Man, the offensive line amazing. They've been working good together, and they run the ball well, and we got to stop the run. Simple things and win the line of scrimmage up front, but they good at up front too.
What are your impressions of Phillips so far?
Man, I love him. I love his work ethic. I love how he works, and he a great addition to the room.
When you welcome in a new teammate, what do you do to make them feel at home?
Man, I tell them, man, whatever you need from me and as a person, always come holler at me, come talk to me, and about the city of Philly. I've been up here for about 3 years, so food spots, everything from that aspect, and tell them go get a cheesesteak.
While you're not worried about re-injuring your triceps, it has been multiple triceps injuries, so how frustrating is it that you can't shake this particular injury?
Man, it's God's plan, man. God got a plan for us all, and, you can't get frustrated. You just got to keep your head down and stay working, man. And, I don't get frustrated. I can't get frustrated, just got to keep going.
One of your signature plays from last year was the game against the left guard from the Packers. Do you recall the play?
Yeah. I just, I wanted to talk about that play, since you brought it up. That guy got hurt on the play, and, you really never know. It's just the heat of the moment. And I wish him the best. And, we don't try to aim to hurt people or knock people out of the game. And I know I celebrated after that play, but if I would have known the situation, I probably wouldn't have celebrated. Probably would have tried to make sure he okay.
But that that physicality you bring on that when you play that. That pulling guy, whatever it is, do you worry about with the tricep and you previously had the shoulder about whether you can keep being that type of guy considering,
No, I don't worry about that, man. I always say, man, it's the heart in the dog, man. And I was a small kid all my life, and, I take that play kind of personal just because, they go in that week and circle you and they try to find a fish up front. And that's all really what it was about.
In what ways do you think Phillips can elevate what Howard can do?
Man, from everything, how he rushes, how he plays runs. He a great guy to be around, and, man, I'm learning a lot from him, just like he learned a lot from us, too.
Do you expect to play Monday?
Oh, yeah. Hell, yeah. Why?
Just making sure, because they have to activate you to the roster.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of Jihad playing on the edge? Since you were hurt, he was one of the guys that kind of stepped in there. It's kind of, it may not be the same with you and BG and Jalen getting acquired, but how did you think he did? Did he come to you for advice?
Yeah, he came to me for advice a little bit, man. I tried to help him out the best I could, but, man, I thought he did amazing, playing with tenacity and effort, and that's all we really can ask, and using his hands and playing aggressive up front. We are aggressive up front team, and, when you play inside the box and NFL, I tell them SEC is all the same, man. As long as you use your hands, get off blocks, and be aggressive, you'll be all right.
You guys got by with 3-4 edge rushers. I guess last year, early part of this year, the depth you have now. What's the value of that overall?
Man, we don't see it as ones and twos, man. We see it as, a group alpha and a group delta, man. We all going in like SEALs, and we all going in to do a job.
Maybe a big picture question on just your perspective as an edge rusher, because not the only, but like 3 of you guys with triceps injuries. Is there something to an edge rusher with that, or what's kind of the connecting point?
Man, you never know, man. You go out here and play this game with all your heart and all your love, man, and I wish it never happened to any of us, really. And like I say, you can't predict God's plan. God slow you down for a reason, and everything has a plan.
Your talent aside, the kind of like personality that you bring out there, do you think that's important to this defense to have you out there for that component of it?
Man, I tell people, man, I'm a small piece in a big puzzle, and I just bring love, effort, and energy every day. That's just me, and that's just how I like to play the game. You only can play this game one way, man, and it's to have fun and be physical, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We ain't got no ball to fight over or nothing like that. We all pulling together for the same thing, a win, a W.
How do you feel about playing in freezing cold temperatures Monday night?
Man, we done did it before in the link, in the snow. So it was magical, and they said it might snow up there. So, we not worried about that. I see all y'all with y'all jackets on. I be out there in just a long sleeve for swag. Really, that's about it. But, man, we could care less about the weather.
Thank you, Nolan. Appreciate it.
All that success, and how do you continue that on Monday?
It always starts up front and everything, not in the run game. But you have a O-line dominates the line of scrimmage more times than not. You're going to like the outcome of the game. So it started there, and we just never lost faith. We continued to work, continue to get better, knowing that we weren't satisfied where we were. But finally, we had a performance that is similar to what we know we can be, and now you just build on it. So every week is going to be a different challenge. But again, we know we have the men in this locker room to get the job done, whether it's running the ball, whether it's passing the ball, and we just continue to improve.
Speaking of the challenge, Sirianni talks a lot about Micah Parsons not just being a threat in the passing game, but really the game on the ground too. How disruptive is he?
Yeah, I don't know where that narrative came that Micah is only good at passing. He's Micah Parsons for a reason. He's getting paid the amount he's getting paid for a reason. Obviously, a very good friend of mine, so it's always fun going against him. But he's a challenge, and you got to know where he's out in the field, get help when you can, have more than 2 hands on him. You watch film, it pops up every single game. So it's going to be a challenge, but a challenge that we welcome.
Now that you've got a chance to practice and work with Tank Bigsby for, I guess, almost 2 months now, what have you learned about him as a player?
I think he's a great guy. I love his attitude. I love his energy. I love the way he comes to work every single day. I think he fits great within our running back room. Our running back room right now, we're missing Ben, but with AJ and Ship and him, it's probably been my favorite running back room I've ever been a part of. Not just the talent, just the type of guys and the conversations that we have. We talk about everything in there, and Tank fits perfectly in that. So super excited to have him as a teammate, and super excited to build off of what we did last week.
What do you see about the Packers' run defense versus what you saw last year in 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a difficult challenge against that team. They're a well-coached team, every level. They have great players. I'm really impressed with the linebackers. I think I love the way how they react. I think they have a good feel in the run game. So that's going to be a challenge for me, doing my job to set them up. So every week's going to be a challenge, and we're excited for it.
You said a few times over the past few weeks and over the years, you haven't been to Lambeau. Is this significant to you as a football guy playing up there?
I mean, I don't want to diss Lambeau Field, but I never played there. I'm excited for the environment and just being a fan of football and the history of it. But it's not like I'm not like getting goosebumps because I'm going to play in Lambeau Field. But like I said, being a fan of the game and knowing the history of it, it definitely be a cool stadium. And for me, that'd be. I think I probably have 1 or 2 more stadiums I've never played in as an NFL guy. So I'll get to knock that off the list.
Talking to some of the guys that just got here after the trade, so in what ways can you relate to them coming to a new place? Is that something you talk with him? How you reflect on it?
Yeah, I only one I really got to talk to is Jair. Me and Jair were part of the same agency and in the same draft class. Actually have the same birthday, so I know him before. So I haven't really got to, chop it up for real with all the guys. But yeah, it's anytime you get a fresh start, it's like anything in life. Like whether you're a football player, whether you get a new job, whether you're in a new relationship, you get a pep in your step. So hopefully that, they're excited here. Hopefully they buy into the culture that we have, and hopefully they have success for us.
As a guy who studies, who knows about running backs, obviously throughout the league, it seems like Josh Jacobs has kind of been having some of the same issues, going against stacked boxes and everything. Like, are you finding that something like defenses are doing more of this year, like stopping the run game first?
Yeah, I think it always goes year by year, and I think when you think about last year, had a 2,000-yard rusher. Derek had 1,900. There's a lot of running backs that had a lot of success. So how do you stop that? Coaches go into the off season saying where we're weak at and where the team take advantage of us. So a lot of them are trying to do a better job of taking care of the run game, especially in a pass-heavy league. So yeah, you face those similar challenges. He's a great back. I think. There's nothing a part of his game that I think is a negative. He could do every single thing. So it's gonna be a challenge for our defense, but it's always fun going against a guy like that.
Saquon, how apologize if you've been asked this, but is Monday Night Football a big deal for you still in your career?
Yeah, I mean Monday Night Football is always a big deal. Being a fan of it growing up, I think I'm at that point in my career where especially the way last year went and getting to play in the big game. There's not like any game that I'm getting goosebumps for anymore. But anytime you get to go out there and play football, it's a blessing, it's an opportunity, and then getting to do it on national stage is fun too. So definitely take advantage of that.
Saquon, how encouraging was it? Just I guess the growth of the offense in all phases from start to just before the bye with the Giants game, and just the way the whole thing just started clicking better and better each week.
I don't think it's encouraging. I think it's supposed to happen. We come in, we work, and when you put the work in, you believe it's supposed to happen. In reality, it only gives you a chance. That's just how, life works for some reason. But I always, like I said, I never lost faith of it. I appreciate, KP and all those guys sticking with it, especially the run game. And, also in this league, it's what have you done for me lately? So that's in the past. We had a great game. Now we got to build on it.
We've seen you stay in the block more than last year, significantly. What has been the reason for that? And, what are challenges of that? Or, what can they do to get you maybe out and route a little more?
I don't know. I think I'm not, into stats or, the analytics and stuff.
I can give you the exact number.
Yeah.
Look it up. But
I bet we're probably getting blitzed more. I don't know if that's a number that's true or not, but I'm assuming that's the case.
So a little more. You've seen a lot of simulated pressure. So
yeah. Four-man. And then, so what's it like? How do they put the number of blitzing under the five-man
Well,
pressure?
if it's a four-man, it's not really a blitz, obviously. But,
so if it's four-man, I wouldn't be blocking.
Right, but what they're doing a lot is
we'll have this conversation off.
Yeah.
I've definitely been blocking more this year, but I don't think it's like a scheme thing. I feel like we probably got pressure a lot more this year, but I think Jalen is doing a great job of answering pressure this year. I think it's probably the best he's done in his career, and I think that's why you see us getting less and less throughout the season.